we told you we'd be back.
Heroes come and go. Legends remain.
We want to hear you enjoying yourself.
You're in big trouble, mister.
W3L. W3L.
I've been down this road before. I'll give my all and settle the score. I know the battle's mine. I'll stand alone. I'm never gonna change my way. Whoa, we're never tired of running. Whoa, we're never tired of hiding. We like to lead on the fear in your eyes. Hey, another round, now's the time. We were born for this. Whoa, we're never tired of kidding. Whoa, we're never tired of flying. We're like a demon coming back to life. Hey, not a trace, we're leaving in the shadows.
This is the longest running weekly wrestling show on YouTube. It's W3L Wrestling Showdown. And let's start this week's episode by looking at some of the recent events involving Tate and the Commune.
Okay, how are you? What's on?
I just feel like I'm always there for you guys. You guys are never there for me. And I went up for my match tonight. Where were you guys? Nowhere to be seen.
Father Luke, he called a meeting. I'm sorry I wasn't there for you, but it is what it is.
The Commune is family. And I am its father. And Father Luke Aldridge underestimated how Tate was feeling. But Father Luke just needs to make a few calls, get on that little black book, and I promise you, Tate, yous will never be alone again. Good day!
What's he mean by that?
Honestly, can tell you.
If I can ask you all to join me in welcoming to the ring at this time, the Blood Tourist, Luke King Sharp!
Hi there everybody, I am Stevie Wizard, here with the man who cannot be improved other than by a bout of laryngitis. It's Simon G Money.
Well, thank you for having me once again, Wizard. But don't worry about any laryngitis because W3L has a remedy coming up in just a few weeks' time.
Certainly does. January 31st in Grangemouth. I implore you to be there in person. You'll be able to see this man in 6-man tag team action. The Blood Tourist Looking Sharp team with TG Rage and newcomer Thomas Blood to take on his former family members in the Commune. Of course, it was right here on Showdown at the end of November he broke away from that family. We'd seen, Simon, the fractures, particularly between Sharp and Father Luke Aldridge for, seemingly months, and finally they had their split.
Well, the thing is, Luke King Sharp, he dances to the beat of his own drum. This is the kind of Luke King Sharp that we haven't seen in a very, very long time. And honestly, it sickens me how quickly he reverted back after all the progress he made under Father Luke. But hey, we're going to find out just how bad a decision it was at Remedy in that 6-man tag team match.
And abandon Luke Aldridge and his Commune. So, now that I'm the #1 singles competitor in the Worldwide Wrestling League, I think it's high time that I have the title belt that shows that. So how about right here in Rossville, we have Luke Sharp versus Luke Aldridge for the W3L
Well, hold on a second, the lights have gone down. That ominous music is playing. That sinister logo has appeared on the screen. And it heralds the arrival of Looking Sharp's former family in the Commune. And we heard what he said. He wants to be the world champion one more time. And that is the man that holds it, Father Luke Aldridge. Of course, accompanied by the Jackal, the Tormentor and Tate. And we'll see what they've got to say, Simon, because clearly they've heard what Sharp has got on his mind and they've come out to confront him.
Well, the difference is between the Commune and Looking Sharp is Looking Sharp was asking for noise, but the second Father Luke steps out through those curtains, a silence of respect fell across this audience here in Broxburn.
It certainly changes the atmosphere when the Commune come out. It's difficult to put into words. If you've ever been at a W3L event live, you'll know exactly what I mean. And of course, you can go to W3LWrestling.com for tickets for all of our live events we've announced. More will be announced as the year goes on. Of course, Remedy is our next big one on the horizon, like I said. And just taking their time, and Sharp just biding his time. I mean, he knows all of them really well. He was part of the Commune for well on a year. He's been associated with Aldridge for even longer than that. And instead of racing in and going after them as you might expect, he's just waiting, I guess, to see what Aldridge and the Commune are going to do.
You see, that's the thing. Looking Sharp is the epitome of chaos, while Father Luke, he's cool, calm, collected, and always in control.
Well, apparently he's getting a microphone. I don't know about being in control, because it looks like his relationship with all of the Commune has been getting more and more strained over the months. The Jackal appears to be the peacekeeper, trying to keep the family together, but Aldridge, I don't know, things, I mean, we saw recently with Tate, she was upset that nobody was at ringside with her for her match against Ruby Roberts.
Calm down. Calm down.
How disrespectful. You get him told.
The Commune is family. And I am its father.
How uncouth.
Looking Sharp.
As the new champion.
For once, I agree with you. We should fight. Right here in Broxburn. For the W3L World Championship. Only if you can defeat each member of my family that you've betrayed, tormentor.
Oh, and this must be happening now. He's got to go through the Commune, is that what he's trying to say? Well, there's the bell.
Certainly seems like it. And you know, Father knows best. He said if a Tormentor in first is going to make quick work of Looking Sharp.
Yeah, the Tormentor, one of the most dangerous people in all of professional wrestling. but Sharp knows him. Not least because Old's fight last month with that impromptu tag match with Looking Sharp and Krieger against the Jackal and the Tormentor as he hits that running boot to the skull. Covers him.
What?
Well, he's beating his former family member and the Jackal straight on the attack.
That's right, no rest for the wicked. The Jackal is going to come and he's going to avenge the Tormentor. Can't believe he'd stab his family in the back like he did. And now he's trying to attack them on an almost weekly basis. This is despicable. But the Jackal's not going to stand for that.
The Jackal, again, appears to be the only level-headed member of the Commune. But Sharp, as we've said before, obviously had enough of Aldridge in his ways. Broke away from the Commune. And the weeks following that, he's been going around apologising to various wrestlers. Buffer, for example, TG Rage, who's teaming with. Of course, we know there's that big six-man tag coming up involving the Commune against Looking Sharp and TG Rage and Thomas Blood. Smart move on Sharp's part, I have to say, bringing a ringer in, something the Commune can't prepare for. Wait, Jackal go for the cover. And what about Aldridge? I mean, yeah, his family, maybe things aren't going as well, but the master strategist, even I have to admit that, Sharp's got to go through all his family members before he gets a shot at the title.
Of course, that's why he's holding on to that championship right now. It's those strategies that you mentioned. And as a strategist myself, I can absolutely respect that he wants to make sure that his best laid plans are in place before he puts any championship on the line.
Well, we'll see if Sharp gets his championship match and how that will affect Remedy coming up at the end of the month of January, the 31st in Grangemouth. Of course, we already know that big six-man tag match, like I have already mentioned, that is going to be so explosive. In addition to that, Iron Drew Marshall defending the Wrestling Showdown Championship against Hugo Harris. Chris Renfrew putting the breakout title on the line against the contractor Sammy Sparks in a chairs match of all things. Ruby Roberts defends the title against former champion Moxie Malone, and just announced it's Saqib Ali taking on the Outlaw Tim Strange. This is a packed event. Get your tickets on W3LWrestling.com to be there in person. Of course, you'll be able to see it on Hooked on Wrestling TV in the weeks following the event, but hey, nothing beats seeing W3L live. You'll get to see that big six-man tag match as it happens, the Commune against Sharp, Rage and Blood. But Simon, what state is Looking Sharp going to be in going in that six-man tag, considering the way that the Jackal is just manhandling him just right now?
Well, it looks like he's going to be having that mustache knocked right off his face before he gets there.
Sharp getting bounced from pillar to post. And of course, they know each other for so well. They were a family, a unit for over a year. I wonder, Simon, do you think that maybe Sharp's kind of holding back against the Jackal? Is the Jackal holding back against Sharp? I mean, they were allies up until recently.
Well, if either of them are smart, neither of them will be holding back at all. But I do have to admit there'll be some form of sentimentality there. These two did share not just the ring with each other, but they shared the locker room, they shared travel, they shared rooms together for over a year. So they'll not only be confidants in each other and in their strategies, these guys were as close as brothers, and it's really hard to forget that.
Flying Ace Crusher by Looking Sharp, not a move he normally uses. It goes to cover 1, 2. Jackal kicking out. Great move, I think, on Sharp's part to pull out a move he doesn't normally use, because it's something the Jackal will not have seen.
Well, once again, I'll bring up the fact that they know each other inside and out, because they'll have strategized across that year with each other to bring those plans to fruition. So pulling out those moves.
Lands the elbow. He's been using that with great effect recently. 2, 3, and he gets it. Sharp beats the Jackal. And I guess he wanted a bit more. That world title was the thing that he was after. The Tormentor's gone down, the Jackal's gone down. And look, Aldridge. Look at the look on his face.
It looks like Father Luke is the only one left. He's going to look at him. He's getting that coat off. He is a man of his word. It looks like we're getting a world championship match right here.
Wait, no. He's telling Tate. Well, she is part of the Commune.
Well, I mean, technically he's not wrong. He did say there's one more member of the family, and Tate is a member of the family.
Well, he did say Sharp would have to go through all of the Commune of his former family. Tate's part of that. But I didn't actually contemplate the fact that she'd get involved in this, but apparently so. But she doesn't want to. Tate's quite reluctant to.
Why would she? I mean, Luke King Sharp's a psychopath.
As I mentioned before, she's not been best pleased because her match with Ruby Roberts for the Women's Championship a couple of weeks ago, nobody was at ringside for her.
Well, hang on a second. What's he doing here?
Sharp. Showing some chivalry. He'd rather lose to Tate than get his shot.
Oh, this was genius. This was genius. This has to have been the plan all along.
You might be right.
She wins! Sooner or later, I'm getting that belt back! Sooner or later!
Well, you thought you were smart. But now...
Oh, and the troops come in.
This was the plan all along. Tate was there merely as a distraction. She obviously knew that. I mean, Father Luke wouldn't put her in danger.
I don't know, Simon. Judging by the look on her face, if this was pre-planned, it was only Aldridge that knew about it. Because I don't think Tate knew anything about this. I think Aldridge is genuinely going to sacrifice her to Luke King Sharp. And speaking of being sacrificed, Aldridge has got that kendo stick. He's about to bless Luke King Sharp. He's trying to fight. Oh, look, it's Krieger. Not headed back to Canada yet. He's still here watching Luke King Sharp's back.
Well, this is ridiculous.
The former world champion in his own right, Krieger.
We're about to get the re-blessing of Luke King Sharp, and this man interrupted.
Krieger came to his aid back at Aldridge's fight. He's come to his aid here again. Aldridge standing on the stage. Let's hear from Krieger.
Luke King Sharp has had enough of the Commune. I have had enough of the Commune. God knows these people in Roxburgh have had enough of the Commune.
You'd never have enough of the Commune.
There's one thing I haven't had. I've not had my rematch for that championship title you stole from me, Luke. And what you might not know, my contract says I get to choose where that happened. And I thought that was going to be a difficult decision. I sat and thought, where would be best to do that? Then I walked in this venue today, I heard these fans, I felt this energy, and I thought there was nowhere better to take you all over the building than right here in Gloucester.
You've got to be kidding me.
I'll admit I'm not as manager. However, if there's one thing that I remember about W3L, it's that you're not the boss. The Commune certainly are not in charge. These people are in charge. So I need to ask a favour, because I might go back there and management might shout at me for giving myself a match. I'm going to count to 3, and if we can all be loud, and I mean I'm talking up in your chairs, jumping up and down, going absolutely bush. If we can be loud enough, they will have no choice but to allow me to win that title back right here. 1, 2, 3.
This seems like a very positive response for Krieger.
A positive response for Krieger, but what a selfish man. He just saw his alleged friend here trying to get the same thing and thought, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll swoop in and steal it from him.
I imagine Sharp will get the first title shot if Krieger wins it back. Well, it looks like we're going to get Krieger versus Luke Aldridge for the World Championship coming up right here on Wrestling Showdown in the next few weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, for Simon G Money, I've been Stevie Wizard. We'll see you next week right here on Wrestling Showdown.